Hello and welcome to the UCast podcast, episode 2. Joining me on the second episode is a very lovely lady I've been following for a little while now. One of my first followers, in fact, back when I first started doing my ukulele journey, if you will. Without further ado, here is Jessica Upham. I hope I'm saying that last name correctly. She also goes
Yeah,
by It's Hippie Chick on Instagram. How you doing?
doing good, Justin. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. So of course, if you've seen the first podcast, the whole idea of this is to get to know people who are obsessed with the instrument that we call ukulele. How did you, what inspired you to play and what got you going? What's like your first, introduction to it or just, whole musical history, if you will.
I'm a singer.
Hmm.
That's what I've done my entire life. And I'm very lucky. We're both Long Islanders. I have a really fantastic community of musicians that are around me, and it's wonderful. And I always feel very supported. But as a singer, it was hard to not have a way to accompany myself because I always found the guitar very intimidating, and music lessons were never something that were really attainable to me in my life. So an instrument was something that wasn't attainable to me when I was younger. So the only instrument that I had was this. And this can get you so far when you're out and you're playing with your friends, and that's great. And I still love doing that. But it was hard to do something on my own and to have a little fun by myself. You couldn't just get up and go to an open mic night. You couldn't just go and busk. You couldn't just even hang out in your living room and play a few tunes. You had to coordinate. You had to make plans. And I have some great friends to do that with. But in talking to my husband, and that's how we met, was through the Long Island music scene. And my frustration with those two extra strings on the guitar, it was always like, I have these four fingers, those two extra strings are always tripping me up.
Hmm.
He went ahead about 7 years ago and got me my first ukulele, which was a tenor size Gretsch. I believe it was a tenor size. There have been so many since then that I can't remember.
Hmm.
And I got it and I was excited. And then for about 3 years, it completely terrified me. I think I learned how to play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and I put it away for a whole bunch of time. And I picked it up again, and I haven't put it down since. About, I want to say, let's see, 7 years ago. Took
Hmm.
about a 4 year break. So for about 4 years, I've been playing pretty consistently.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's interesting you mentioned Long Island music scene. I definitely been part of that and what do you call it? I've been in my generation was the I don't know if you're familiar with it, like Ground Zero in Belmore. It was like the punk scene or whatever. It was always these in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. There was always a lot of great venues that you could go to and play. And it seems to me, I mean, I don't know, you may agree with this, that it seems to be dwindling a little bit. There's not as many venues. The music scene is not what it used to be anymore. Why do you feel that is?
I feel it's because of things like this that we can interact with people that are so far outside of our community now. Through the pandemic, and especially through our community, through ukulele community, I've made so many connections and so many friends, and have done collabs with people, with people all over the world. And it's fortunate that we have the accessibility to do that, but it's also a little bit unfortunate that that's taken a little bit of the personability
Hmm.
away, and the get togetherness. But through pandemic times, I think that was something that was very welcomed.
Hmm. Oh, what I doubt, yeah, no, but it's interesting, yeah, how, it's good and bad because yeah, you could reach a whole audience worldwide, literally. But there is truly nothing like the local music scene and playing live and everything. And I feel that's I mean it's I don't know, it's not maybe it's coming back a little bit, but not the same. I don't know. It's yeah, but I see that you play out a lot all the time. Especially summer you did that farmers market all the time, right? And that's
It was great
yeah,
opportunity.
yeah.
It was a little, it was nice because I don't want to say that it was necessarily background music, but it wasn't as much pressure as being up on a stage.
Right.
The other band, the band that I'm part of, we do shows like big
Hmm.
shows. ticket selling shows and people come there for music. So it was nice to kind of slip into that farmers market and make some friends and, get some smiles and earn some tips without feeling like all of these eyes on you,
Right,
you know.
right. Yeah, it's I gotta tell you, I want to play so bad live, but oddly enough, I don't know. It seems weird to me that I could do this on Instagram and TikTok, but to actually, be by myself, playing, because years ago I used to be, with other people, bands or whatever, it's a little different, but out by yourself, that's quite intimidating. I gotta tell you.
It's
So,
funny when you think about it though, because who knows how many people will watch something like this. Potentially this could reach a heck of a lot more people than you would reach at a farmer's market. So
mhm,
it's funny to think about that intimidation, because here we are, it's just the two of us, that more people might likely see this than if it were you and I at the farmer's market playing a show. You know
right.
what I mean?
When I
So
yeah, I know it's so weird, yeah. But and so yeah, so you like you mentioned you started 7 years ago, and that was with one ukulele. How many ukuleles now do you have?
what do we call it in our little circle? It's called the UAS, ukulele acquisition
Yeah.
uh syndrome. I have 12 here at the house. I have 3 in my classroom that are mine.
Hmm.
My son has one. My husband has one, so that's 17.
Oh my
And then
God.
I have a really weird thing that my husband got me a few years ago from Craigslist called a singing trihalopi, which is a surfer ukulele back from the 60s. It's
Yes. Yeah.
pretty wild. It's pretty wild. So yeah, I'm going to say 17,
Wow.
18.
Wow.
The
That's
great part that there's always room for more. Your interview last week with Andy and Jarvis, he said
uh,
it's not, intrusive to have all of these ukuleles in your
no,
apartment.
no. Yeah, yeah, and I try to explain that to my wife. Like, it's like, what do you need another ukulele for? I'm like, you don't understand, unless you
You you don't need them, but are they really that much trouble? They're just,
Not really. No, you're right. As opposed to, because I started off as a guitar player, and to have that laying around is more of a nuisance than of, just having, little ukuleles you can hang it easily more on the wall, or even just hiding them under the bed is much easier, So, but even still, like it's a what's the word? It's kind of necessary to have all these different ones because there are different, different sounds. You got the soprano, you got your tenor, concert, and now you got banjo, which is one of my personal favorites lately. And yeah, it's just.
baritone. Yeah.
And now I'm hearing, was it I think it's Enya has now a 5-string ukulele, which seems
I know.
very interesting to me. Yeah, so now like
Don't tell Santa, please. I'll
yeah,
have
right.
to send
Yeah,
you
it's
Christmas.
around the corner, Christmas. Yeah. But yeah, it's what do you call it? It's amazing to me. When I first started it, yeah, I thought, oh, I'm just gonna have the soprano and that's it. And then sure enough, less than 2 years later, I have 5, including a U bass. It's yeah.
How quickly you can accrue them. And my husband and I, we're also real big garage sailors. We will constantly go yard sailing,
Yeah.
and it's hard to walk away. It's like if I, we call them rescues. We don't even say that we're going out, we're getting them. If we see like an abandoned sad ukulele at a garage sale, we're like, okay, we'll get another one. I
Like an
have two
animal shelter.
shows.
Yeah.
I didn't touch them. I think I might have posted a video of one little bit of Jolene on my tenor banjo, the Irish banjo, and I haven't played it since, but I couldn't very well leave it there. It needed to come home.
Of course. I feel you did the right thing. Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and that's awesome that your family's involved too. That they're very into it. And I see your son; he's also a theater guy. I see
It
he's
is.
and is that like his main interest, or do you see him playing music as well? Are you trying to encourage him that, or are you trying to do what he just is his passion is more the theater?
If you asked him, he would tell you that he wants to be a paleontologist or a cryptozoologist. That's people that like search for yetis and Sasquatch and all
That's
of those mythical creatures. That's really his cup of tea. But he has found such a great community in his theater. In fact, tonight he's going to be part of the ensemble in Scrooge. So I have that to look forward to this evening, watching him on
that's
stage.
awesome.
He loves to sing. He loves to sing with me. We're really good. We're good friends. We're good friends too. So we have a lot of fun doing that together. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, I have a he's about to be 14 months old. A
Yeah.
little young to be playing yeah, I and what do you call it? But I hope to have the same sort of relationship with him one day and yeah, that'd be I got him a little toy ukulele. He's which is great because it's not, string, it's he's just banging on it and what babies do, I guess, so but hopefully that's the introduction to, yeah, the music world, ukulele world, hopefully. We'll see.
It
Um
will be.
no pressure
Okay.
though. Uh, you mentioned that "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star" was like your first song, which I think is pretty much everyone's first song that they learn ukulele. When you first got back into it, what was the thing that the song, the artist that made you want to pick up the instrument again?
I think a lot of people would say something like watching Grace Vanderwall on America's Got Talent brought the ukulele to the forefront of a lot of people's minds because a lot of people do think of it as a toy instrument or a tiny guitar, and it's just like
No, I
this
thought the same thing. Yeah.
yeah, it's this little thing that nobody really takes seriously. But one of the biggest compliments that I get, especially from some of my friends, is that I play it like a guitar. I play it more like a guitar, and I don't necessarily know what that means, but I definitely take it as a compliment. I think that she was a very big inspiration, and I said, "Wow!" I said, it just sounds so fun, and it's really not very intimidating, especially when you talk about the portability of the instrument. When you talk about how it can go with you any place.
Hmm.
I started with Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and then I'll challenge myself and I'll play like a classical Spanish piece that's played on a classical Spanish guitar. And my husband helps me because he plays classical guitar. He'll help me transpose it into something that I can play, on the ukulele. And it's really, there's one song that I watched Cynthia Lynn tutorial for, and I call it my parallel parking song because I've only parallel parked once in my entire life, and that was to take my road test. And for the rest of my life, I said I will park blocks away from anywhere I need to be, just as long as I don't have to parallel park. And that was Blackbird. That was probably one of the most challenging songs for me, probably because I put so much pressure on myself because of how much that song meant to me. And I've never played it again. I played it once for a video. It's there. It's cemented in it's hippie chick history that I did it once. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to do it again because it was just so overwhelming. And, you know, I watch all of these people play and I watch them post their videos, and I love people that post their videos when they make little mistakes, and I love people when they're absolutely flawless because I just know when I'm watching them that they're having a really good time.
Hmm. You know what? I feel that is the most important part because I will admit I'm not, a master musician of any sort. I don't. I'm still. I mean, I've been playing this almost 2 years now. This instrument, and I still am learning. I'm the kind of guy that is into like the basically 3 chord, 4 chord punk songs. And it's but and it's amazing to me that you know you could take a song that's like aggressive or whatever, and then you play it on ukulele, and it's like, yeah, wow, this oddly works.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I remember when I broke out, Isn't She Lovely at the farmer's market, Stevie Wonder. Someone's like,
Oh,
what
yeah.
doing? And they were like, surprisingly, I really, really liked it. I really, really liked it. I'm going on this E chord journey because everybody talks about the dreaded E chord. There's been so many,
Yes.
posts about it that I said to my husband, I said, every single song that I'm going to work on for now. I don't post everything that I do. I don't like share a video of everything that I do. But lately I have not been practicing any songs unless they have the E chord in it.
Mm,
Just to do something to push myself a little bit, just to do something where I could say that I'm getting that stretch and I'm doing what I have to do to make that like just a non-issue, you
mhm.
know?
It's funny you bring that up because when I decided to do this podcast, I was kind of trying to figure out a title for it. I eventually, obviously, stuck with UCast, but one of the ideas I had floating in my head was the dreaded E with Justin Richard, and I wasn't sure if people were going to get that reference or if that would go,
I
you know what I'm saying? So, and what's funny though, I try to avoid that E chord as much as possible. I usually do, if anything, I'll just try to switch it to the E minor if
Mhm.
necessary, or I'll do the E bar if it needs to be the higher chord, if you will. But yeah, oh man, I've only played that maybe 2 or 3 times, and yeah, it really talk about yeah, that's dreaded E is definitely the word for it. Yeah. So, and you mentioned, I know what I wanted to talk to you about. You mentioned that you're a preschool teacher,
Yeah.
and you play ukulele for the kids, which I think is really
Oh,
awesome. That's also one of the other things you and I actually have in common. We both work in an elementary school.
all right.
Of course, you're a teacher. I'm a custodian. But I try to get involved. Actually, luckily for me, one of the rooms in my section is the music room, and the big thing now is and I wished they had this when I was a kid. They have ukulele now they're teaching, and it's
The
phenomenal.
report, which I have to tell you, a video came through my memory feed on Facebook. It was hilarious. My son had just brought home his recorder,
Mhm.
and he's playing these songs, and I'm kind of like I'm squinting because it sounds, and you could hear my husband off camera yell, "Can't you play one of the other holes? There are other holes. Play different holes." Because it was just like it was so loud. And I remember that when they said they were going to do ukuleles instead of recorders, I said, what an incredible idea. Because again, this is a way that somebody can accompany themselves and be a lot more creative because you could do two things at once. You can play and you can sing and you can express yourself
Absolutely.
more. I think it's great.
Absolutely. And I feel like that will also be an introduction to other instruments too.
Yeah.
Like more string, I would say. And it's funny for me, I started with guitar, then bass, then ukulele. Now it seems like the younger generation will be doing ukulele first and then possibly, going into other things. And I totally agree with you. And so hopefully this will make our ukulele community much bigger, hopefully, or maybe that's wishful thinking. I don't know. Who knows what kids are gonna do nowadays? So, um, but no, I think it's great. Yeah, and I told the music teacher, that I'm into this. Showed her my Instagram page, and I said I have no problem tuning these things for you. Fixing them for you. Like I'm seriously that obsessed with her. And she's like, "That's awesome," and I
Yeah.
think that's awesome that you also incorporate it with your class and everything. Yeah, and how they seem to really
They
enjoy it.
love it. I can tell you, I could probably, I would need another hand to count how many children have said this year that they're going to be asking Santa Claus for ukulele.
Mhm.
And that's wonderful to me. And every time we sing the days of the week or anytime we sing the months of the year song, if I don't have the ukulele, they're like, wait, get that thing off the wall.
Yeah.
What do you, we don't do this without music. And it's wonderful. And that's something that, your interview that you did with the guys last week, what you hope to do in the future with it. I'd love to write a children's album. I would love to, write some original music for kids and just, and have fun with it.
hmm Well, that would be a great idea for a Christmas song. I don't know unless it's been done already, but all I want for Christmas is a ukulele, or something.
that that would be cute.
Yes, without a doubt. Yeah. All right. Well, listen, I understand that you have to go. You got your son's play tonight, and whatever. But I do encourage people on this podcast to play a little ukulele if you so want. So if you had a certain tune in mind that you wanted to play.
Sure, yeah. It actually has the E chord in it, as a matter
All right.
of
The dreaded E. Yes.
fact. Hang on a second.
All right,
Let's,
take your time. Oh, by the way, I love that ukulele tattoo. I've told
oh,
you that in the past. Yes, and that's something I would love to get. I just yeah, I need
and I'm
some more
wearing my
funds.
ukulele sweater
Oh
too.
yes, I was trying to figure that out if that was a ukulele or just yeah.
It's
Now that you pointed out, that's awesome too. All right, so you're probably way more obsessed than me. That's awesome. That's
You know what's hard though is that I saw a doodle that George Harrison drew
hmm
of a ukulele, and I saw it for the first time right after I got this, and I
uh,
loved ukulele, and I said, "Boy, wouldn't it have been neat to get that doodle?" And
mhm,
then I reminded my husband that I have a lot more space that I could fill up, so
absolutely.
maybe that might be in my future. All
Yeah,
right, let's play this.
that's
This
very
is
cool.
Keep Your Hands to Yourself by the Georgia Satellites.
Excellent. All right, take it away.
I got a little change in my pocket going jingle-ling-a-ling. Gonna call you on the telephone, baby. Give you a ring. But each time I dial, I get the same old thing. Always no hugging, no kissing until I get a wedding ring. My honey, my baby, don't put my love upon the shelf. She said, don't hand me no lines and keep your hands to yourself. Cruel baby, 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 why you won't treat me this way? You know I'm still your lover, boy. I still feel the same way. Last night she told me a story about free milk and a cow. She said no hugging, no kissing until I get a wedding vow. My honey, my baby, don't put my love upon no shelf. She said don't hand me no lines and keep your hands to yourself. See, I wanted her real bad, and I was about to give in. But that's when she started talking true love, started talking about sin. And I said, honey, I'll live with you for the rest of my life. She said, no hugging, no kissing until you make me your wife. My honey, my baby, don't put my love upon no shelf. She said, don't hand me no lines and keep your hands to yourself.
That's what I'm talking about. Awesome. Yeah. And this is what I mean. What I was talking about. Like it's any you could make any song into a ukulele version. It's just like it's no longer has to be Hawaiian music or pop music. It could be rock, anything. Oh, and that was just awesome.
Thanks so much. Thanks so
Yeah.
much for having me. This was
Oh,
this was a lot of fun. Thank
oh
you very
yes, I had a blast too, and thank you so much. You
We
were
have
definitely
together
what's
now.
up?
Listen, we live too close to not
Yes.
to get together and jam one day. The next time I do the farmers market when the weather gets nicer, you have to come out. We have to play together.
Without a doubt, yes. I got family out by you too, so that will absolutely. Yeah, I look forward to it. I really and then maybe I'll come out with my U bass. I'll help you out a little bit. Maybe if I gotta get the courage to play live again. Hopefully I will. So but Jessica, no, fantastic. You were definitely when I first wanted to do this, you were definitely on my top five for people that I wanted to be on this.
Ah,
And the fact that you're doing this, it really does mean a lot to me. And
thank
yes, I do hope to meet you in person very soon. And this was great. And hopefully maybe we could do a live broadcast or something, or do another episode or something. Something. I want to do something with you for sure.
you.
Absolutely. You're just fantastic. And good luck to your son tonight. And I hope it's a lot of fun. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. See you soon. Have a great one.
All right, you too, and happy holidays.
Thank you, you too.
All right.